Uh, this is day two. The previous day we'd been trapped by the NBA and on that little gravel road just prior to the dogleg. We fought our way out. That's the battle where I shot the sergeant's jeep and made it back to the caliche pit. We had to spend the night in the caliche pit. And that was not too bad. The enemy left us alone, no rockets, no mortars. And it gave us a chance to lick our wounds, get our wounded out, get our guns serviced, get the vehicles serviced, as we're going to break out the next morning. Well, for whatever reason, come the next morning, we got delayed. And we didn't get out of the caliche pit, didn't start moving till probably around 7:30, 8 o'clock. So, sure enough, enemies waiting for us. They didn't move an inch. Down the road we go. We get within a quarter mile of the dogleg, and bam, right away, RPGs, and they had a recoilless rifle. So here we've still got all these little gun jeeps and dismounted infantry. That's when we found out that the gun jeep, except for being military police, they're pretty useless in a real firefight. These guys had to dismount immediately. They're just, the only armor they've got is their shirt and their flak jacket, which was worthless against a bullet. And they lay down in the road trying to protect themselves, and we're stuck up there in these tracks. Well, I'm still acting as the observer for this new lieutenant observer advisor, and we wheel to the right. Off to our left is fairly secure, but wheeling to the right, the enemy's, again, only 50 meters away in the brush, in the bamboo, and we cannot really see them. So this time I'm using my head a little bit better, and I get up with the M16 and I'm starting to take some aimed fire, deliver some aimed fire against the base of that bamboo. Because remember, it's cut off bamboo for 50 yards out, only about a foot high, and then on the other side of that is that dang 12, 14 foot high bamboo that hadn't been harvested yet. And so that's where the enemy is, and we're struggling with that. We're really hitting nothing. The fire isn't lighting up, and we were about 45 degrees to the road, facing away from the road, and all of a sudden there's this horrendous explosion. Well, on board 2-6 we've got the driver, the track commander in the turret, the lieutenant standing closer to the left side of the vehicle. I'm on the right side delivering covering fire, and Duckworth is in the back still delivering M79 grenade launcher fire and watching our rear. The guy was just amazing, the observational ability he had. Well, all of a sudden there's an explosion. It is just horrific. The round was a recoilless rifle, 57 millimeter, hit us right dead square center of mass on the right side of the vehicle and about 2 inches below the top deck. And our top deck armor is only about an inch thick, if that. And it went right straight through the 2 inches of aluminum on our right side, like it wasn't even there. But going in, now remember this recoilless rifle, this 57 millimeter, it's not like a bullet. It's got some guidance parts to it. Even though it's spinning, it's for stabilization. It stripped away the outer hull of the round because it was a shaped charge, and the center part of that round went straight through and went through both of the track commander's legs. Remember, he's standing up on kind of an ammo box, and so that he can see out of the turret, and he was right perpendicular to the hit of that round. It went in right leg, through the right leg, through the left leg, and hit the radio, which is mounted on the inside of the hull on the left side, and out the side of the track. Went through both sides of the track. And that radio just disintegrated, all the little parts and pieces and stuff that were in that, and they flew around inside the track. Now, that's what got me. it got the lieutenant too. We were slapped all through the back, the butt, the back of the thighs. I was. The lieutenant, he saw the round coming, he says. He saw the gun fire. And he said he had just enough time to turn, so he got it through the left side of his back thigh and his butt. And Duckworth, when the lieutenant turned, he more or less covered Duckworth. Duckworth didn't get a scratch. But I was standing less than, probably 20 inches from the impact of that round. And of course, all this, the sides of those vehicles are straight up and down, as you can see in the picture in the title. And so the splatter went straight up, and it missed me. It just went right in front of my face. But the concussion came over the side, and it slapped me in the face, and it felt almost like someone took a giant catcher's mitt and just slapped me in the face as hard as they could, just square on. And I thought I'd been skinned alive. I thought I was dead. This sudden gargantuan blast and the stinging sensation all over you. My shirt was ripped. I dropped my M16 and I was holding my face like this and I'm screaming. And I turned to Duckworth and he's laughing. He's pointing at me and laughing. And the lieutenant is kind of staggering around a little bit. I couldn't hear anything, of course. And the lieutenant's gathering his composure. I could see a little bit. And Duckworth, I could see laughing. So I wasn't blind. That was a good sign. And the first thing you know, I look over and Duckworth points to the track commander. I'm closest to him. And I rush over and try to help him, but I can't. He's already trying to climb out of the top of the turret. Why, I don't know. He just felt like that's the direction he had to go. Well, as he does this, he drags his bleeding legs over the open ammo can, and he had just reloaded. So he's got 50 rounds of ammo ready to go, and he bleeds into this ammo can. And of course, he comes over the top, falls down inside the track, and the lieutenant orders Duckworth basically to take care of him. Duckworth slaps a couple of makeshift tourniquets on his legs, saved his life. And lieutenant gets on the alternate radio. He had like a backpack that he carried around because 2-6 always had spare radio. And he gets the outfit moving back to the caliche pit. And fortunately, our track wasn't on fire or anything, nothing detonated. And the driver, the engine wasn't hurt, so the driver just backs up and away we go. Everybody convoys back up to the caliche pit. Well, I get out of the track at the caliche pit and I'm shaking like a leaf. I'm kind of in shock. And I've got some blood, which I don't even notice, coming off my ass, not out of my ass. And here's what I didn't realize though, is because when the TC fell down the bottom, came down in the track, I jumped up in the 50 because I'm a TC. And I man the 50 caliber and I'm shooting away. Well, what I don't realize is all this blood is splashing up out of that ammo can and is splattering blood. The ammo can's right here on my left, and it's just splashing blood up on me and I don't even notice it. But I was covered in blood when we got back. And the medic comes running up to me and he says, sit down, sit down, sit down. And I was like, what is going on? He says, you're badly wounded, dude. And I thought I hadn't noticed from the concussion in my face because he's wiping dried blood, and caked blood off of me. And I look down, I'm just like a stuck pig. And he tells me, he says, well, you're going to get a Purple Heart out of this. And but then he wipes it off, done nothing. He turns me around, there's blood on my ass. That's all the damage I've gotten. I'll tell you more in the next segment.